We're just gonna do them both at the same time.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Coronation. Korra Nation?
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I did.
That's gonna go in there, isn't it? You know what he said? Coranation. He wants to talk about the Coronation because it's like Coronation, but
because
Korra
she's gonna come
plus
back,
nation.
take it away from General Zelda, and make it a Korra Nation again.
He literally just said this. Like, this is what happens before, like, we start recording for reals. But please upload this into the final product.
Only because you start talking to Cameron. I can't think they are a brilliant way to work it in because it was just such a brilliant joke.
That's how his mind works.
It's the greatest joke since Cab Bitches, okay?
Oh my god, that was
It's
bad.
phenomenal.
That was so awful.
All right, so we're going to do two this time, back to back, because we were running a little bit behind, so...
What's this
we
white man? I watched the other one last Friday.
I tried to... All right, no, yeah, that's right. I've been running a little bit behind. But...
I was ready to go that day!
that day is wept. But yeah, okay, so we have Korra Alone, which we'll talk about first, and then we'll talk about the Coronation.
Oh my god.
So alright, so Korra Alone, we finally see what's been happening with Korra, how she got to the state where she is, and why she hasn't gone back, and told everybody where she was going. Apparently her powers aren't as good as they used to be. She's been spending months and months, was it like 6 months learning how to walk, something like that, trying to get her footing back, literally. And she finally gets it back, but she's still a little rusty, and she's just feeling useless, and she's just not as good as she used to be.
I have a hard time remembering because this was like more than a week ago
Yeah.
now. But it had like
No, it was a week. It was only a week.
Yeah, it had like a Rambo sort of deer hunter thing going where she's like going to these fighting, where she's like going to these fighting competitions and they're like, hey, aren't you? It's like, no, she's dead. Like, something like that. Like,
and she keeps, well, the big thing, she keeps being haunted by, it just looks like another her, like her in the Avatar state. You know, just not looking good, and it keeps following her and her... Was that the spirit animal? The little doggy that saw it as well? I wasn't sure.
yeah, the little dog, which was a spirit animal,
That's embarrassing.
saw it. Yeah.
It's like a little poodle.
It's weird. I mean, am I the only one who... like, at first I'm just like, oh, it's kind of like Wizard of Earthsea, you got your shadow self, it's all like... you know, psychological and like Jungian, but like as it went on, was I the only one who was thinking, hey, you know, this kind of reminds me of Superman 3 when he was fighting himself, you know, in the
I thought of Legend of Zelda too, thank you.
oh, Shadow Link?
Yeah.
Legends of... My god, that's old school. You didn't really go with Ocarina of Time, or...
No, I'm just,
okay.
as long as it comes back to Zelda, because again, that just seems to be the magic word we're throwing around here for whatever reason. But yeah, so and who does she come across at the very end, just when she thinks there's no hope and nothing that can help her? She comes across a big shock, right? I mean, wouldn't that been a great twist? Just, yes, Toph wandered into the forest and has been seen for years meditating. It's like, Sokka? It's just like, oh, well, I'm sure Toph's out there somewhere. Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
In what was not a big surprise at all.
Right.
Because everybody knew. Everybody knew it was coming, apparently, except for the few people on my Facebook page who, when I posted about it, were like, spoilers, Rob. And I'm like, what? What, do you live in a cave? Did you not see the trailer where she says, Toph? Or, like, yeah. So Toph's in this. Apparently that was a surprise.
They could be in the cave. No, not only are they living in a cave, they can live in the cave with her and with their sight and still not know she would be in this season. Even though the trailers have said it, the last season is like, yeah, she just wandered off. I'm just dropping that bit of information. No reason at all. Just, you know, there you go, audience. Do with it what you will. It's like, come on, guys.
I heard somebody really like, I'm in Europe. I didn't see the trailer. I'm like, but you have a computer.
Saw the last season.
I'm like, I get it if somehow a North Korean slipped through and this is like, spoilers! But like, if there's no excuse, you can watch it on your computer. It's not like, you know, last year where Nickelodeon was actually running it on their goddamn TV station.
So, comes across her, that's the end of that episode. I guess we can talk about that real quick. We'll just talk about the episode. It's funny, if they didn't have the amount of time going by, like the 6 months and the 3 years and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have seen it as especially strong, but because you have to squeeze all that in a half hour. But I think because you're constantly reminded, yeah, for a long time, she can't walk, and this is over months and months, and even when she can walk, she doesn't have her powers back, and she doesn't know why, and she's being haunted by something. This is going on for, as we hear, 3 years.
And it's a spiritual journey. It shows us something we didn't see. It shows us something we were literally robbed of, I think, in Season 2, because of the way the whole show got put together so haphazardly. Which is like, can you imagine if Season 2 opened with that sort of episode? Like, imagine that, she just kind of gets her powers back, but she's still overcoming the idea of losing her powers, or Amon fucked her up somehow, or, Like,
yeah, you're right. This
is literally, I thought, the apology for everything that went down in the beginning of Season 2.
Yeah, you're right, because this is her...
Consequences.
Actual getting it back and everything. That's true. God, it is so weird. It is like they're really trying to reconstruct what I'm sure a lot of people have said have been mistakes.
Well, if you look at what was trying to go on, I think Season 3 is almost a means to kind of redo some concepts of Season 1. It's he wants to kill the Avatar instead of taking away her powers, but it's a similar concept, just... I don't think, I think we should just have humans ruling everything. I think there shouldn't be an Avatar. So Amon was doing it by just removing the powers kind of painlessly, but, in Season 3 it was more, I'm going to kill it. But it's the same concept, and I'm like, it's almost like, I don't know whether they realized it or listened to the criticisms or just felt in their hearts that, yeah, we didn't get to do this quite right because of the way, like, we kept getting dicked around by management. So they're like, let's do that same idea again, really flesh it out, kind of do it right this time. It just has that vibe to it, with the same sort of anarchistic quality to the villains in Season 3, and now picking up in Season 4 with chaos ensuing and this and that. It's almost like a redo of Season 1.
Well,
like, not a full reboot, but like they're kind of like hitting the same notes again.
What I like too is that in the last season was very much anarchy. These people are, they're members of, they're just pure anarchists. Obviously the villain in this one is very much about order and structure, and I like that. And I like how also in the last season, Korra's pretty strong. She can go in and out of her avatar state and everything. And in this one, she's very, very weak trying to get her powers back. So I sort of like that. I like they sort of have like these different leans. And I think what I was saying before about the actual, that the amount of time passing makes a big difference is that if this was like, whatever, a month or two or something like that, and she's like, oh, I'm so frustrated, I want to be doing stuff, I want to be like, shut up, what's wrong with you? Oh, the world doesn't need me, oh, boo-hoo, what's... okay, you're the Avatar, but
that was
still
this
like...
past episode.
The
world doesn't need you, Twinkle Toes. Get up, you bum!
Well, we'll get to that in a second, too. But, yeah, I think I like, over a short amount of time, you sort of say, well, it almost seems like a selfish thing to get upset about. Just like, oh, the world doesn't need me and stuff. But over years and years and trying so hard to get, not just your power, but kind of your identity back as well.
Yeah.
You're pretty much told from childhood, again, both Aang and her had that in common, that they were told as children they are the Avatar. She just discovers it.
It's a spiritual journey. That's something the original show had, which has been kind of missing. I haven't, it's been touched upon.
There, yeah.
It's touched upon here and there, but really hardcore, we're going to examine a spiritual journey with her herself. I haven't seen a ton of that in this one, at least not handled really great, and this time they're just like, no, we're really going to do this. She's faced with a situation that completely drains her, destroys her spiritually, and she's going to build herself back up. And that's something Aang did. He had to face the fact of losing his culture and this and that, and basically sort of get himself retrained and figure out what he was going to do, and it's nice to see that again.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's where I thought the original show was strongest, and I think that's where this show can be strongest too. So,
I thought it was a good episode. I thought it, like I said, especially when you consider the amount of time going by, I thought it definitely showed what she was going through, and it's after the first one that has so much information just going from place to place to place, and just so much, weight being thrust upon you, it's sort of nice to have just one person and see what that person is going through, and you don't know anything about what's happening in the rest of the nation, rest of the world, kind of like how she doesn't know either.
It was nice to see Katara again, too.
Yeah, well, she's made in most of the seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was very Katara-heavy for an episode.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, so I really liked it. They give this one the Coranation, which is sort of back to the
like Kif on Futurama. Yes, sir.
So it kind of gets back, kind of a mix of the two. This is the first episode where you kind of see like a half and half of here's the world shit and here's Korra shit going on.
It's a whole bunch of shit.
A whole bunch of shit, and
real.
She's using the Toph as Yoda pretty much.
Though it's kind
this Toph is such a more fun Yoda.
No, it's you know what it is? It's Yoda crossed with like Burgess Meredith from Rocky.
Yeah, bam!
Help you, kid! Yes, get up! Get up, you bum!
How much eating lightning you are, and crapping thunder you will. Yeah, that's a good comparison. I like that. I laughed a little bit when I saw her hair in the bun again. That made me laugh a bit.
That makes me laugh because I'm just like, is this because she's got a visitor for the first time in forever? Because I'm like, who's she dressing up for? She's blind. What does she look like?
Her clothes are pretty clean too. I get they're in a swamp.
Yeah, she looked like crap when in the previous episode, and now all of a sudden she's done up with like her old hair, and I don't know.
So
it did make me laugh.
Korra's trying to train with her to get her power back, figure out what's wrong with her. Toph mainly is just enjoying beating the shit out of her and doesn't even hide it.
She's such a delightful bitch.
I
missed her so much.
And it's fun because I was thinking to myself, well, okay, is the same kind of attitude she has as a little kid, is it gonna, is she gonna become annoying as an adult or a very old adult and stuff? It's like, no, it's even funnier.
Oh, hell no. No, and even funnier, like, I did read somewhere, somebody's like, don't you think your personality would change? She's still like an overgrown 10-year-old. I'm like, no, it's called second childhood.
No.
She's old enough that she doesn't care all over again.
That's correct. I think when she was, the head of police and all that stuff, that got statue me out of her, then she had to really close down, be serious.
Yeah.
We even see that part with her two daughters. She's like, I cannot take this right now. Just go, leave me alone. I mean, it's like, you could tell she had a lot of shit going on and that was very serious. But now she's an old lady. She's away from everybody, but she still kicks ass and she's, very physical and stuff. So she's like, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I love when she says, oh, I forgot how much fun it is just to torment the Avatar.
Good times.
So that's going on. They find out that she still has some metal inside her from the poison, that they didn't entirely get it out. So she's like, oh great, that's the solution. Well, take it out. And big shock, she can't relax herself in order to have the metal taken out.
Wants to be sick?
What the twist? So
maybe it's also an extension of her shadow self, which she's been fighting for the past episode. Okay, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, okay. And Toph, again, just in that great Toph, the only way Toph can do it is just like, well, she's like, well, how am I supposed to get rid of it? How am I supposed to? I don't know. Figure it out yourself, you crybaby. And everything.
Yeah, bum!
So it's such a great character because so many people in this world, but both this and Avatar, were so much. Like you said, it's about the spiritual journey. It's about explaining. This show is also for kids, so it's good. But yeah, every once in a while, it's like, I think everybody sometimes just needs that little smack on the back of the head saying, just tough it up. Life happens. Get over it, every once in a while. And I think for her to constantly be that, but it's also kind of helpful and informative. It's still such a great character. So that's one part of the story going on. Another part is that
Nazis!
Yes! Adolf Zelda is officially taking over.
No. She went from General Zelda, and now she's declared herself, I believe, God Emperor Zelda.
Yes, Empress. But yeah, as soon as you hear Empire, it's like,
I had to laugh because
Well, when has there been a good empire?
Baldwin's just like, I just don't know if I like all that talk about empire, and I was just kind of like, it sounds kind of Star Warsy.
I mean, it's like, it seems like a lot of people like her already, but just from a PR standpoint, has anyone ever heard of a friendly empire, a peaceful empire? It's just not a very, hey, bring your family to our empire. It doesn't usually fly. But it doesn't matter, people seem to be on her side.
I mean, the British Empire was all cute and about drinking tea and stuff, and it worked great if you weren't, anywhere else in the world outside of Britain.
Said all British hate mail to him.
No, you're absolutely right. There's no really good empire. it doesn't happen.
So, or like it's just not a friendly sounding word, Again, could have talked to a PR person, but
how about like imperial community?
There you go. Community, wonderful word.
Yeah.
We love community, togetherness, parks.
It's a forced community.
Playgrounds. It's like being forced to go on a slide. Whee! I would love to be forced to go on a slide.
A highly encouraged commonwealth.
I like this. See, much better terms, just for future. But yeah, she pretty much right in the middle of like, the other emperors that now he was emperor for like 2 seconds, or king, whatever of the Earth Kingdom is. She just like after she like says anyone crossing me will be crushed. I just wanted to take the mic and just go boom, just drop it on the floor.
Well, I love it. And now we award you the Medal of Freedom, and I'm like our most ironic of medals.
Yeah,
in the Earth Kingdom.
Well, I like how she crushes it too.
Yeah, I want to shout like Matthew, symbolism!
Yeah.
But here's my only thing, like, it was one of those moments where I'm just like, did it not occur to any of the leaders in the crowd, many of whom have bending powers, she doesn't seem to be surrounded by many, like, of her own people there. I mean, even though it's a coronation, it seems like it was meant for the world leaders. Couldn't they have just taken her out right there and been like, and you're under arrest?
Yeah, I was kind of questioning that too.
That would have been the first thing I would have said as king. She's like, you have no authority. I would be like, bullshit, you're under arrest. Arrest her.
Yeah, honestly, I really thought like...
I thought she was going to fight her way out of there.
Yeah, and I was sort of like...
I was waiting for it, and I'm like, what? And then you just let her leave?
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought that. I was kind of watching, it's like, I don't think this is how this works.
No wonder they've always got anarchists and terrorist attacks. Nobody does anything.
I kind of agree, but and it's like, well, and then it's like knocking on the door, hey, you can't do that. It's like, I don't think this is gonna work, guys. But it's still badass. It was still cool.
It was very badass.
And again, I like, even though she's clearly the villain, she's still very identifiable in her ways, and everything, when she explains herself, you kind of see like, I mean, yeah, I get it, but just, do you have to do this? Yes, I do. No, you don't. But you still get where she's coming from.
This Hitler guy really did fix the roads. I gotta give him that. What are you, a Nazi?
Oh, no, I was about to say, it's still obviously wrong.
No, I know what you're saying. They've given her, which is, again, what a lot of thuggish types will do. You give people the incentive to vote for them, and then you basically take over. So it's just like, well, I fed you people. I helped you people out. I brought order and peace and prosperity to the galaxy. So just don't fight me when I say I want to take over.
So somebody wrote, I think when they were putting a link to it, they just wrote, this is how the Earth Kingdom ends, with thunderous applause.
Actually, this is how the Earth Kingdom ends, with a whiny little Earth King crying and everybody else doing nothing.
Well, but see, the other thing I think is kind of justified, as annoying as that new Earth King is, that was kind of funny, him taking the scepter away from the kid on his birthday. It's like, it's my coronation.
Oh my god. I remember when you did that at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, they should have given me my pizza on time instead of being 5 seconds late. They were on the clock.
I think, I don't like the
I was the only kid who timed my... Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't like the Earth King as a character. Wow, you really ran with that Chuck E. Cheese joke.
Yeah,
that was just a throwaway for me. I don't like the Earth King as a character, but I do...
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing an ad on. Hold on, let me see. I think it's like
Turn
an
it off.
ad on your computer or something.
Turn the volume off.
Just keep talking.
Yeah, so I don't like the Earth King as a character. But I do kind of like the comedy they go for with him. At the same time, I think that scene at the Earth Kingdom buffet in their version of like the Earth Kingdom Chinatown was like finally my tipping point where I'm just like, okay, this character, somebody needs to kill him. Because I was just done. At that point, I'm like, this is too pathetic even for a pathetic character. I just can't do this anymore.
There was, I think there's a part where they're saying like, you know, yeah, and after he'll be emperor, you know, Mako, you can leave, and oh, what's Mako gonna do now? We're both kind of like, oh, good, we're
Thank
finally
God.
getting rid of this guy, and he
like, oh, shit.
seems to still be around, so it's like,
and he's so pathetic. I don't know if there's gonna be like he'll become smart and find redemption. Like, it seems like he's so rock bottom. I'm not sure if they can even pull that off now. Because I don't know if I would be able to suspend my disbelief. But I did love the scene though where he's upset at the stalls selling the signs just for that line. Just, hey, you spilled juice on me. Get him.
I do kind of like what he says, respect the brooch. That was kind of funny.
Respect.
But yeah, it's like not too much else.
The best line though still goes to Bolin when Mako's like, wow, you look all important and authoritative now. And Bolin's like, yeah, when I stare at the mirror in the morning, sometimes I think I'm in trouble. And I'm just like, oh no, it's just me.
There's
a line in this episode.
A lot of good laughs in this one. It's great seeing the twins back again.
That was
more
great,
Varric,
too.
Always great, more Varric. And it looks like he's working on some sort of evil
She's
device.
not my girlfriend. She's my boss. Boss, girlfriend, same difference.
But yeah, I think I'm trying to think what was some of the other. The only thing I think I had a little trouble buying in it was that I don't know if I could see Bolin quite. I mean, it's like he kind of stood up. He's like, okay, but just. And I liked setting the brothers against each other and him making the argument, but I can't see him quite going that direction. Like I couldn't see him standing up applauding if he was doing kind of hesitant, you know.
It's still his boss,
good,
and I could just because the look on his face said it all. It was just.
I mean, they do obviously show that he's not necessarily happy with it, but he feels it has to be done. But I don't know. I think it's that scene with her just saying, you know, my house now, and I don't know. I could see him just being like, you know, sort of sitting there, like not standing, just sort of thinking it over, you know, like he doesn't know what to do.
I think he wants to believe the best. Well, I mean, he did basically just tell her straight up. He's like, I don't know if I like all the crushing freedom talk.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that they had that conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, let's just be honest. Bolin's just an idiot. So,
but he's still kind of like
he's naive and
he's an honorable idiot.
No, he is an honorable idiot. But I think that's what it is. I think he's an honorable idiot. Like I think he wants to see the best in this person, and he'll come to realize eventually. Unless we had talked about this, like just as a joke. But it was like, what if the ultimate twist is Kuvera is the good guy?
Yeah, like she's actually not a villain. I don't know how you could do that.
No, I mean, no, you can't, obviously. I mean, it's just obviously she's very obviously the bad guy, but I'm like, man, that would have been a twist that she's a dictator, but a benevolent dictator. You know, not gonna happen, but
the other
that
one,
would be a really strange twist.
I remember I was gonna say, the other scene that I thought was a really good point, again, just to show, like, how people could side with her, because there are times it's like, again, in Star Wars, you have, like, the Emperor, like, with the hood and the evil smile, like, join my friendly empire! Come on!
Can't you trust me?
But I like that, you know, when Bolin says to Mako, he says, you know, do you really think that guy in there, that Earth King, deserves to rule more than she does? And he's like...
Flat up says, well, no.
Yeah, well, no, but it's the way it is. I have to respect the rules and stuff. So I do like, it's like they do address that there is this element of, no, it's not fair, and there are people are just going to be like, if it's not fair, why do it? You know, and there's no wiggle room at all. It's just not fair, don't do it. She should be in charge, let her be in charge, and she'll do things best, let her do everything, hand everything over. So again, I kind of like that there's if it was like a good king, this very, you know, like, oh, this guy's gonna be a good ruler, but then this evil person comes in, because that's usually how it works in a lot of takeover stories. It's like the ruler before, not the realistic takeover story, just, you know, shows and movies and stuff. It's like, it's always a good king or queen, and then the evil villain comes along, somehow gets voted in.
No, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that, again, you see where the sympathizers are coming from, and I think that makes the idea of taking her down even tougher and even more realistic, you know, because there are going to be sympathizers, and you can see why.
So, alright. Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
Yes.
I think you're fighting for Kuvera.
I'm definitely not fighting for Kuvera. I'm saying that you can see everything is still laid out in terms of why she is doing what she's doing and why she thinks she should be it and why other people think she should be it also, as opposed to, oh, this is just an evil person.
You know what, just come out and admit it. You're a closet fascist, aren't you?
Closet? I'm so open. Beheadings for all!
That's more of a religious extremist sort of thing.
Well, what's what fascists do? I'm new to that. I'm just coming out.
Fascists just shoot people.
Shoot people, okay. Yeah. Shootings for all!
Oh, and mobs. You gotta have mobs.
And mobs, people. Shooting and mobs Friday. Be there. What? There's gonna be one psycho that shows up to my place just like with a torch and a gun, like, I thought you said it was Friday. I got the pitchfork. So no, I just like it, but honestly, I mean, you were talking about Hitler and everything, and you were showing me a while ago the World Wars documentary. That was amazing.
On History Channel. That was a good special, by the way.
And it shows, I mean, so many people do like to just say, Hitler was a monster, no evil, he was the embodiment of evil, nothing else and stuff. They had to get there somehow, and they had to become this somehow, and how did they do that? And there had to be, again, sort of this intention, whether it...
There's these stepping stones from... I had a rotten life, to now I'm jilted, to now I'm just becoming crazy, to now I'm a murderous madman.
You know, and there's something about, like, when people just say, oh, no, just evil, that's it. And it's like, it's not that simple, and I think it's good to understand that, and it's good to address that. That's why I like that they are
Well, it's the same with the public, too. There's always a stepping stone of, well, I don't know if I would do that. Well, okay, just this once. Okay, I'll vote for this guy, even though I don't agree with some of his policies. And the next thing you know, you've got a crazy in power, and you're just like, oh, how did that happen? I didn't vote. Oh, wait, I did. Or maybe you're crazy yourself. You're just like, no, this guy's my kind of guy. Mob beatings for all. So.
But yeah, no, again, I like this is the first episode where it sort of mixes the two, the stuff with Korra and the stuff with the rest of the world. That's the only way I can put it. And I think they balance out well, and they mix well. And that was sort of my fear, was that, well, am I gonna like all the world stuff but not the Korra stuff, and are they gonna meet okay in the middle? And they seem to.
Korra one's really strong this time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't point to them and be like, the weak link. Like,
well, especially now we have Toph in there too. I mean, it's just...
I'm trying to think if there's a weak link. I think the only weak link is, and it's not Mako's fault, it's just Mako getting stuck with the Earth King.
I was gonna say, even it's like...
It's not Mako's fault, it's like the writer's like, we're gonna stick him with this wholly unlikable character.
Well, let's be honest, Mako has never been that interesting a character either. I mean, we've talked about this before. He's not like a horrible character, he's just
You could make him interesting, but I think once again they've paired him now with this clown, and you're just like, oh, poor Mako. Yeah, so to the very end, you're not going to have an interesting story arc.
Yeah, so it's always like, we're just, anytime it cuts back to him, it is sort of like, just, oh, please, just be funny this time.
Oh, hey, shit, I just realized something. What happened to Asami? We didn't see her this episode.
You know, I was kind of thinking that too. She didn't appear this time around.
I need more Asami. Make it so. I realize it's already written, but...
Yeah.
I'm using my mind to travel back in time. I don't think it worked.
Madman! You fucking madman!
You're the Nazi!
Yeah, well, see you next time from the Nazi and the Madman. Ha!
This is Rob saying, I think you got that.